Hi, welcome to video number 3 on how to use the Caltrans Hot Mix Asphalt Pavement Smoothness Adjustment for HMA. In this video, we're going to go ahead and cover how to complete the general input sections of the worksheet of the spreadsheet. So the general input sections are in rows 1 through 8, and it's these cells that are yellow, or if you can't see yellow, they have the double border around them. So we're going to go ahead and just work our way across from top left to right. So the first cell to enter is cell F2, and that's the project ID. That's the 10-digit number that's on the cover of your project special provisions. I just entered 10 digits. That's a made-up number. The contractor name, we have a drop-down list with all the contractors' names from our X-Work billing system. If your name's not in there, you can enter a name into this drop-down list by sliding off to the right here and going to cell EF8. We're going to assume that we don't have the contractor's name in that list, so we're going to enter Acme Construction. That'll be, now we can select it from that list. And next, we're going to enter the paving contractor or subcontractor. It might be the same as a prime contractor. If it were, we'd pick Acme. If not, we can just go ahead and enter a new name. We're going to assume it's Acme Paving Incorporated. Okay, that didn't change the contractor's name, so just change the name in the drop-down list. We're going to pick Acme Paving. We're going to enter today's date, 7/22/2019. Okay, now we're going to enter the contract number. We're going to assume it's 10-123454. Okay, once we enter that contract number, the district gets populated automatically from the contract number, the first 2 digits. And then once we have the district, we have a selection of the drop-downs for the counties. So in District 10, we have this choice of counties. This video software I'm using sometimes doesn't show the drop downs, but there's a drop down here if you can't see it. And once we pick the county and the route, we can pick the, once you pick the district and the county, we can pick the route. And the EA gets populated automatically based on the last characters of the contract. And I see I have one too many digits in there. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Okay, direction, we're going to say we're going to use a selection from the drop-down. Route 59 is a northbound, southbound, so it's going to give us that choice. If it were eastbound and westbound, it would give us a different choice. Lane number, we're going to enter 1. We're going to enter whatever we want in that cell. The begin station of this lane that we're analyzing, it's 16.32. And the ending post mile is 23.0. Okay, now we're going to enter the layer thickness. So something we need to cover here is the main drivers of this spreadsheet are the layer thickness, total opportunities for improvement, and then the type of HMA that we're placing. So if we pick a layer thickness anywhere from 1/10 up to 2500ths, it's going to give us the standard. It's going to use the standard default target tables for 75. Might be percent improvement, or might just be a standard 75 target table. If we pick 3/10 or greater, it's going to use that 60 target table. It might be the standard 60 table or the percent improvement 60 table, and that's based on other input. So we're going to go ahead and just assume our layer thickness is 1500ths. Now, total opportunities for improvement is defined in our specs as the number of lifts a layer can be broken up into. And with Caltrans standard specs for type A, we don't want the contractor to place a layer less than 1500ths if the layer, we don't want the contractor to place a lift less than 1500ths if the layer is 1500ths or greater. So with that, we can do density testing on it. So if I had a layer thickness that was 3/10, the specs also allow the contractor to break that up into 2 1500ths lifts using half-inch mix, unless your special provision overrode it. So anyway, so for the layer thickness of 1500ths, that's limited to 1 lift. And if we had, the specs also talk about when cold planing work is being performed. So the Caltrans standard specs default to requiring a cold plane surface to be paved back over in the same shift. There is a special provision that the designer can include, which will allow the cold plane surface to be exposed for up to 7 days. So if you don't have to, if your project has that special provision that allows the contractor to cold plane and then pave in a different shift, that is counted as a second opportunity. So we're just going to assume that in this case it's one opportunity. They're paving back in the same shift, or there is no cold planing. The next choice is the bid price, and this is not used in any adjustment. It's just used for, to keep, just for information only. Okay, the next choice here is the spreadsheet needs to know, what it's analyzing. Is it type A, HMA, bonded wiring course, open graded friction course? If we pick an open graded friction course, there's a separate revised or non-standard spec. There's a separate specification that covers the open graded friction course incentives. If it's type A or HMA or bonded wiring course, we're going to use the standard 60 or 75 target tables. So if I have a type A mix, that's our top course, that's what we're going to adjust. Then I have a choice of I'll pick from these 4 choices. Which one I pick does not affect the pay factor tables that are used by the spreadsheet. We're just collecting this information so that we can analyze like types of work. So if we had type A over uncorrected existing, I'd pick that. If I have type A over corrected existing, I'd pick that. So when we talk about corrected and uncorrected, we're talking about using the full width or partial width segment corrections. If I have type A over a cold plane, same shift or previous shift, I'll pick either one of those. We have the same 4 choices for our HMA and bonded wiring course. So, and again, this doesn't, which one you pick here will not affect your target tables, but what matters is your layer thickness, your total opportunities, and then, which one, if you're picking one of these upper rows, RHMAG, type A, RHMAG, or bonded wiring course, or if you pick an open graded friction course. Okay, so that's basically how you input that's how you use the general input section for the spreadsheet. So we'll go ahead and end this video, and we'll move on to the next video.